Hello and welcome to another episode of Burners. We are reading our way through the Malazan books in publication order. We're currently kind of almost nearly done with Memories of Ice, but we're really dragging it out. Today is going to be just chapter 24 for discussion. Usually we read approximately 100 pages in typically the edition that has the largest number of pages. We will be reading everything by Stephen Erikson and Esselmont. Over time. Once again, in publication order, the book after Memories of Ice will be Blood Follows from the Bockelane and Corbel novellas. The schedule for the upcoming weeks is going to be the last two chapters, chapter 25 and the epilogue for next week. Then we'll do a spoiler discussion with all the rereaders in the group, full series spoilers, and then we'll do Blood Follows, break for a few weeks, and then come back to House of Chains. With me, we have the usual group of friends who go around introducing themselves and also talk about what they are most excited to discuss, which, for one reason or another, is probably going to be the same damn thing, but we'll see. Dan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm Dan, and I think actually what I want to discuss this week is probably just if someone can help me figure out what happened in some of the parts, because I'm not 100% sure why and what exactly happened. Like, for example, with the uh, what is it? Like the Tiger mercenaries? How did they get there? And what was happening in the city? And a couple of other things. I got a bit confused. So yeah. Carl?
Yeah, I'm actually. Well, first of all, I'm Carl. Uh, I am going to avoid what I suspect most people want to talk about because, in many ways, that is kind of the obvious thing to go for. And I'm actually going to say the end of the chapter is what I want to talk about the most. This is one of those twists that
Mm.
it blew my mind the first time I read it. It blows my mind every time since. It's just such a wonderful way of. Steven Erikson does it again. It's just a beautiful subversion of all you expect, and I love the Itkovian Talanai Mass scene there at the end. And I will hand it off to Shannon while we still have you.
Hey, my name's Shannon, and I think I want to talk most about how about Tool showing up and thinking, "Hey, I could just sneak in, but instead I'm going to make a big show about it because he's a drama king."
Love that for him.
Yes. Who's next? Mirka.
Who's
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Mirka. I also had lots of questions this chapter about like what's happening. And yeah, I would like to talk about Paran drawing a condor card and then like something's happening. That was very strange in my opinion. And I'm like, why don't they do that all the time? But also the main event, of course, the main thing that happened this chapter. I want to discuss with you all why didn't Talanai show up to protect Silverfox, and you know, Tayshren, could he have done anything earlier, or what happened there? Sorry, that was a lot. I have a lot of questions.
Much to talk about. And Steve.
Yeah, I'm Steve from Tayshren, and I won't have the obvious question, I think, but I think in broader terms about death in this series, and there seems to be a little bit uneven because some characters feel like they get a second chance, and other ones are like, "Oh, we're dead, moving on," and it's just maybe am I missing something? Is there a rhyme or reason to why some characters are just dead and some get a second chance?
Nice. Oh, I have to do my thing, which I guess also is the Itkovian. Well, I guess I want to focus on a different aspect of it, not quite the subversion, but just the fact that Etkovian's not yet done, and we kept hearing that in previous chapters too. But just how much is he not yet done? Um, we'll we'll see. I want to talk about that part of it. So where shall we start?
At the beginning,
Okay, who wants to tell me where what we began with?
I mean,
This chapter, I think we start with the Bridgeburners just about to enter, or was it? Yeah, just about to enter the city, right?
we
Now we
act.
start with Tool in Kapustan.
Yep, we start back
Tool?
in Kapistan
The hooded priest.
with the
Sure.
shithead
Oh,
priests,
right.
who are of course
Oh, yeah,
missing the greatest priest, Wrath Carl. And they're just generally Wrath Shadow Throne as being a dingus, and Cole is trying to protect the Mybe, and meanwhile our mysterious Knight of Death is like, this is her moment. The ritual is ready. It's gonna happen. And Cole and Murillo are like, stay the fuck away from her. She's not dead. She's not dying.
He wants them to bury her alive, pretty much, right? Or put her in the pit at least, if not bury her.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of the implication, is that she's like dead, or they're going to like put her in position to die. And they don't want to do that for obvious reasons, right? I mean, they've been caring for this woman, this poor, victim of circumstance. And it's just, I love this little through line. I love the Mybe and all the bits here. And we bring back two of our good guys in Cole and Murillo. And, they don't do a lot other than just like be steadfast with her, real Sam Gamgee energy they have. And I love it.
It's interesting, the Mybe section, for the impact it had on me. I seem to recall it taking up a lot more of the book than it did, but really it was a few pages and maybe 3 or 4 chapters each time, and that was it. But it somehow feels like such a big thread in this story.
I think it's a combination of like, it's a bigger thread at the beginning of the book. Like, she gets way more page count at the beginning. She's one of our main POVs in the first few hundred pages. And then it is so emotionally impactful. I mean, everything is so raw and dramatic that I think it does just leave that impact, at least for me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe that's it, because at the very beginning, before the battle starts, and the battle takes up more than half of the book, right, with Kapistan and then now in Coral, but it all moves so fast, and there's not a whole lot of emotional investment, at least under this chapter. With it's more tense. Maybe all the emotional investment happened at the beginning of the book.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where we got the buy-in for sure. Anyone else have thoughts about this or questions?
I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm like, what are they trying to do with her again? I think maybe I just skimmed that part.
Well, that's part of the thing, is we don't really know what
Right.
the Night of Death intends. They think, Cole and Murillo think he's going to kill her or, do something like it.
Yeah.
And so they naturally are protective of her.
Yeah.
But the Night of High House Death does not really explain himself. He's mysterious.
Yeah. Why do these characters never explain? It's always like that. They always do things and we're like, never explain. It could be, always misunderstandings and things.
He just dug a pit and he's like, put her here, please.
Yeah. It's like the same as every, I don't know, it's nothing, but every romantic comedy where the whole plot is the misunderstanding at the beginning.
It really is, this situation, kind of darkly comic when you think about it that way, that he really does just like, okay, bring her, I saved your life, now bring her to this temple. Yes, the temple of death. No, there's nothing ominous about that. And now we're going to dig a hole in the ground and you need to put her in it. Like,
trust me.
just believe me, dude. I swear, it's really cool. you're gonna like what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved the interaction with the Shadow Throne, Rat Shadow Throne, the priest. It's like, are all of Shadow Throne's priests like this? Because I was thinking of Iskar Alpast. I think is Past here in disguise? Why is this man talking like this?
I think you have to be kind of crazy and egotistical to be a priest of Shadow.
Yeah. Explains Quick Ben a little bit, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So from there we go to Coral.
Yep. Then it all begins, really.
It all begins. So
They
we
infiltrate
already.
this city.
So the tunnel thing was in the last chapter, right? We've moved on past that now.
Yeah, they're inside the city. The Bridgeburners are inside the city.
No, I guess not yet. I think we start with like a lot of tactical talk, and then at some point the decision is made that they are going to enter the city and they're not going to wait for.
Mirka's right. It starts north of like Coral, and then they fly down to the palace or whatever, and then also there's a separate fight going on with Corlat and that and them also that are north, but not in the same place, also fighting as they're all kind of working their way down. And then the Bridgeburners are flying down to the keep or the palace or whatever is to kind of like distract them, because they start whipping out those condors or something that are like condors infused with demons that start tearing stuff up.
Sick as hell.
Did we
which
explain why?
Actually, did anybody say they wanted to talk about Ganos turning into a giant shadow dog?
That was definitely on my list. That was
that was wild. I didn't remember that at all.
When did this happen? What?
When they're fighting a condor.
He turned into a dog? I thought he was fighting one.
Well, he got like surrounded by Kuro Emerlane or whatever, darkness. And it was, I'm assuming, that Hound of Shadow that he saved. Because Quickben says that, like, was it Quickben? I think
so.
It's like he's not soul taken, but he, like, him and this Hound are like one. Like, they're merged together.
Oh, I completely misread that scene. I thought Quickben was describing the creature that Paran was fighting.
No,
that's how he killed the condor, was with the Hound.
Okay, and then he didn't feel pain afterwards with half his face falling.
So you're telling me this guy is like the master of the deck and can turn into a Hound of Shadow, and I don't know what else. Like, man, Perrin can just do anything. Sounds like.
Yeah, he's an anime character. He's getting all the super powers.
Yeah, so he's a little bit of a ghost too, I think.
I mean, it did seem like it did cost him some effort because he was like bloody and he was exhausted, right? It was taking a toll on them, right?
Yeah, his ear was falling off from the battle. The battle was so intense, they literally ripped his ear off.
Yeah, which, and then I say that about Perrin, but it was still a tearjerker when Picker told him, the knives that were at your back haven't, are faced away from you for a while now or something. It's like, aw. Like, they don't want to kill their captain anymore. And they're telling him.
Yeah, I love a lot of the imagery in these action scenes of the Bridgeburners running around in the streets of Coral or flying on the backs of the Moranth, whatever the hell they're called. Quarrels?
Coral? Yeah.
Quarrels and Coral?
Quarrels and Coral.
Carl is talking about quarrels and Coral. That's fun. Okay.
Yeah.
They I just love the imagery. It's very cinematic. And a lot of explosions, a lot of darkness, big spooky buildings, dark alleyways, and then giant fuck off dinosaurs with swords on their hands, or 4 hands rather, stalking them in the dark.
So do you guys think that fight, like when Paran turned into a Hound of Shadow, was that only thanks to the fact that the card drawing was involved? Like, did it have something to do with that, or would that have happened?
Oh,
I thought it was a separate thing.
yeah. I thought he drew the picture of it and then he like did something and then it just died.
I thought someone punched the picture and he hit the condor or something, right? I don't know how that works, but
right, and that took the condor. The condor.
He's the master of the deck,
fell, right? It was like it couldn't fly anymore. It just fell to the ground, right?
Yeah. Well, he's the master of the deck, which are kind of like tarot cards. So he's like, hey, draw a picture of a condor on this card real quick, and then he punched it, and then it fell out of the sky. I don't know how that works, but I can vaguely see how that makes sense in my head.
Can he draw Penny and Spear and punch it?
Yeah, really.
He doesn't know what he looks like. That's the problem.
I
don't know. But I think the Hound of Shadow is like from his connection in the sword, right? From going through that
it has to
vortex,
be,
right?
Yeah, because he freed it and they both went through the portal darkness that was in Dragnapur. So somehow that connected them.
I guess, is the Hound in him, or they're still like separate, just connected?
The way it was described made it sound like it was, well, he said it was a one, but it sounded like almost like darkness came to him.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Any of us have any ideas?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've gotten it described that the Hound of Shadow escaped and is like out and about, but it also sounds like maybe it escaped inside a parent. I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's how you can get out of the sword. Go inside someone else.
Yeah. Like it hitchhiked on Perrin to get out.
I don't know.
See, I was thinking that it went into darkness, and so now it's like in the Warren of Darkness.
I mean, that's definitely what they kind of said. So.
Okay, I see.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
That makes sense, though.
You want me to explain the magic in this series 99% of the time? My answer will be, I don't know. But it looked cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So I also, I think that part I didn't fully follow, or I didn't know I wasn't following it. But while we're on the condors and Paran, the thing that they did on the roof, what were they doing? So Spindle can scare the heck out of the creatures around him with his warren, and so they scared the condors. But what did they do with that?
It was a distraction, right? From like to distract the condors away from the other troops.
Yeah, and then to specifically like fly into the Moranth ammunitions, and they like blew them all up.
I see. Okay, but there was some that was still circling the keep afterwards.
Yeah.
Quickbend hit them.
Yeah.
So what were they doing during... Okay, they didn't have enough to kill all of them. So they did something to keep them... I guess just knowing that there's something there and not being able to see it was what kept them flying around that keep, is it?
I don't know.
I mean, technically the condors are demon possessed, so maybe, like the demons were able to stop the condors from going totally crazy. Some of them, because Spindle's magic affects the animal, not necessarily the demon that's possessing the animal. If that makes sense.
It only affects them when they're nearby, right?
Yeah.
So.
I think
he opens his warren.
Distracted.
And he drives animals like mad with fear. That's I think all we really know.
Yeah. Which I did like that because it's kind of like it's been set up for like a while. The fact that the animals that now they pay off, right?
Likewise, we got Toe's ghosts. All the ghosts who just want to like go back to work, start their patrol again.
Yeah. But the setup for that was only like a chapter or two, right?
True. I still thought it was hysterical. The dude fucking kisses a toe, or he like tastes it or something.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I don't know if I just didn't notice him earlier. This was the first chapter I clocked toes, and I was like, Man, I thought Spindle was bad. Ew.
Yeah, the
I'll take
Bridgeburners got
hair over toes any day of the week.
yeah, they got some real weirdos in their squad, no doubt.
Oh, by the way, so Spindle's hair shirt, that's just his hair, right? Because after it burnt, it grew back, apparently.
No, it's his mom's
No.
hair.
It's his mother's hair.
That's so
Yep.
he claims.
No, it's
No,
his
it's for
mom's hair.
sure his mom's hair.
No,
It's
I
magical.
know.
He's haunted by his mom.
I
That's for
think it's
sure her
really,
hair.
I think it's really suspicious that it grew back after it burnt. That's all I'll say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's because it's haunted, right? Like Carl
Yeah.
said.
Fair.
It's haunted
Okay.
magic hair.
Yeah.
How dare you call Spindle a liar? It is definitely his mom's hair.
Because
No.
his mom doesn't want him to have sex ever.
Yeah.
So
I think
why.
that's the best / worst part of all of that is that everything Spindle's saying is true. That I think
Yeah.
that is literally a hair shirt made of his mom's shirt, and it's magical because she's haunting it, and she actually tells him all of these things. Like he's not crazy. Like this is all actually happening,
Yeah.
which is brilliant. A magical haunted hair shirt is it's the most medieval thing that I've never seen in an actual medieval like fairy tale or story. I love it. It's such a brilliant idea.
I think it's the grossest thing next to a toad shirt.
Oh, it is. It's nasty. I think people used to actually wear hair shirts because they were like, I am penitent. I feel so guilty.
Maybe.
Nasty.
Oh, that's a thing?
Oh yeah. No, this is a thing with like Catholicism, medieval Catholicism.
Oh,
Was like
did
priests
not know
would
that.
wear hair shirts, crusaders would wear hair shirts, things like that, to show like they're penitent. It's because it's really uncomfortable and hot, and
I see.
so it was like like an easier thing to do than like whipping yourself. So it was how they would show they're penitent.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep, interesting.
I think now people wear them. I didn't know, but I checked. Apparently, it's the same thing as what some people wear now, which is like a coarse, something like a ball or something that you put on your chest so that it rubs and it's sort of like a penitent thing, but under your clothes.
I see.
Okay. You were going to say something, Mirka, before? No?
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember what it was.
Is
Was
this
it
something
about
It was
Spindle's
something
hair shirt?
about. No, it's gone. Maybe it'll come back.
All right. Well, what's the next thing we want to hit then? I think it's worth taking a moment, having a moment of silence for all of the Moranths who suicide bombed, full kamikaze, the Condors. I mean,
Hardly knew
that's a
them.
legendary move that I've definitely not appreciated on prior read-throughs.
I think because we just haven't had much contact with the Moranth. They're just like in the background all the time. We don't know anything about them almost.
But they were super useful, right? Like they did like all the flying, all the transfers of armies, and now they're just getting slaughtered because they were told to and they're willing to.
I'm desperate to follow Twist. I want to know Twist's story. Everything from like the writing about him being like the secret, untold hero of the Malazan Empire to like whenever he's on page, like he's looking really cool and like saying like pathos ridden things about, will the Barghast gods accept our souls and blah blah blah. Like he just seems really cool, and I'm sad we don't get enough of him.
So last time we talked about the tactics and maybe like there were some weird decisions being made, and as I was reading this chapter, I thought we had some of those questions maybe answered. Like they went ahead and wanted to intervene first to gain an advantage for the armies that will follow. I still don't think that was a great idea, or maybe it was, but still they keep making that same decision. They are going to enter Coral without any communication with Dujek or Kaladin Brood's army. Do others also think that the tactical decisions are being very, I guess, heroic, yes, but maybe illogical a little bit.
Yeah, I would say that's how I feel about it. It's like they're taking very big swings and very big risks, and they at like every step of this, tactical journey. Like they none of their approach is very methodical. It's all very intense.
And
Like
this
the
time we
biggest
had a
swings they
whole
can
scene
take.
about like them discussing if it's a fair exchange, like if it's worth it, and they decided that it definitely was. But I don't know, like it was. I don't think I maybe like have that kind of thinking in me as to just like go and sacrifice yourself, and maybe you'll kill a few enemies before your main army arrives. I
I
don't
mean,
think that's a fair
yeah,
exchange.
it does make a lot of tense moments. So for the
Oh
drama,
yeah.
it's very good, I guess, decision.
Yeah.
And it does speak to the culture of the Bridgeburners. The first one's in, last one's out. And
Yeah.
so I think they really do kind of go out of their way to do that. And that's part of what has made them famous, that they go above and beyond. They put themselves in the most danger. But I don't know that it's always, the most tactically sound choice.
Mm-hmm.
I personally would have. Couldn't they just have stayed in Kapustan and then the Panion domain would have died anyways because there's no agriculture and there's no food left once they finish eating themselves? Kind
Well,
of?
I mean, there's always the risk that they're going to come back again,
I
and
guess.
I do feel like this is a situation where you want to just like wipe them out once and for all.
Yeah, but how long if the food is not going to last very long, I think. I think
Maybe
just
they,
wait like a couple of months and then you're
yeah,
done.
maybe they sail across the ocean and go somewhere next. I don't know. I mean, you're
Maybe.
I
right.
can
It seems like
understand the need to go and deal with him, but the way how it was done, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I
And
think that. Sorry, go ahead, Mick.
yeah, it just sets us up for, bad things happening to our favorite characters.
the the thing that I took issue with last time, or at least didn't fully understand, was the lack of communication. Right, like the tactic makes sense. What we just discussed, sort of like, yeah, it's heroic and high drama and everything, and arguably, I guess it makes sense in one way to think about it, but um but I still don't understand why they did not let Brood's army know that they were going to do this, if that makes sense. That they were going to move faster than they originally estimated. And that made Brood angry, and he briefly decided to not join them. But yeah, everything else, high drama, etc. I'm all for it. It don't enjoy battle scenes, enjoyed this one. Not the part
I
where
I
Whiskey
wonder.
Jack
Something I
died,
want to
but
ask, Erickson. I'm writing this down. I'm starting a new list for our questions. For maybe we'll see about talking to him after we finish Blood Follows. But if the Bridgeburners are intended to be kind of a larger meta commentary on heroes in general, they're not only kind of our heroic POV here, but they do seem to kind of embody many of the like suicidal, almost like,
Fanatics.
yeah, exactly, this like insane commitment to a particular reckless approach, and they sometimes they worm their way out, but eventually you're gonna have to pay the toll. I don't know if there's more there, if that's a really kind of facile question, but I'm curious to hear what Erikson has to say about that.
I always thought we were like sort of like a band of brothers sort of group. That's the sort of feeling I get, you know?
Right.
Kind of. Sometimes I wonder if he's comparing the military service or that kind of devotion and faith. Because like we talked about a few minutes ago, the ones that are willing to commit suicide to take a few out with them. That level of devotion and faith and fanaticism is kind of sounds like a religious fanatic would have the same kind of mindset.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some of the things they're doing are they do really do feel like fanatic, like the actions of a fanatic. It's but that's not how they view themselves. You know, I mean, they don't even
Yeah.
think of it like we're doing it for the empire. You know,
I guess the follow up question would be: do you, to have an efficient army willing to die for the cause, do you need that kind of fanaticism?
right? It's an
Do you
interesting
think
question.
Itkovian, his decision to recruit from the Tennis to the Grey Swords V2 reflects that thought process a little bit? Because he wants fanatics, and because they need to be bound to a cause and a god and something to drive them, and that's why he wants to recruit from the Tennis.
Probably. I mean, who
I'm
doesn't
writing
want
that down.
fanatics in their army, right?
Sorry, say that again.
No, Carl, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm writing that one down too, as the kind of follow up for Erikson. That, like, you know, is there some commentary on the need for uh, fanatics in a military to be effective? You know, like Steve was asking. You know, is that a strength? Is it a simple matter of, well, you need to give these fanatics something to do, so aim them for something theoretically productive? Is it the military naturally attracts that type of person? You know, what is it about? Because it is. I mean, now that you all are like talking about it, like, this is a running theme. I mean, this book is obviously about cults and fanaticism, just as Deadhouse Gates was, and I hadn't really viewed it that way with the Bridgeburners before, but they absolutely are kind of their own little cult.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't go as far as comparing Bridgeburners to Tenascauri, but
No,
or at least like, those tactical discussions that we see in these chapters. I think they are meant to explain like why they are making some decisions that they are making. And I'm sure many of them are reasonable, but I guess if we step back and we think about like how they got into that situation, where they suddenly they are making like very smart tactical decisions by creating diversions and stuff like that. But in the first place, they got themselves there by not waiting for reinforcements and like just going ahead and doing something that they thought was maybe going to be helpful, but maybe that was not the best tactical decision. Um, yeah, but I guess maybe what Dan was saying is just so that the story could happen.
right? I mean, but I feel like it's a more interesting conversation to have, to say, like, is there something that Erikson is like trying to explore here? Something he's
Yeah,
trying to say or do, or even just questions to ask.
yeah,
Because there are, it's not at the same level as the Tiniscauri, but like the Tiniscauri are the most extreme version of something, right? Like, that's like very intentionally they are something to taken to its absolute extreme, and so you're seeing a much more moderated version of that. But like, there still are like parallels I think you could draw. Um, the Gray Swords are an even better example, and so I feel like it is a either consciously or subconsciously something that was on Erikson's mind, and I'd be curious to hear if he like has actually like ruminated on it, if it was conscious, or if these are just parallels that we, have found in the reading.
I mean, it's a good point. Like, what are the Malazan soldiers fighting for? Like, why are they fighting this way? For what? For the Emperor? For the Empress? For Malaz City, which seems everyone doesn't like, apparently.
Strong work ethic.
I,
No,
I
I
this
say
is
that
a
as a joke, but I honestly think that that is the case for them. I mean, they're soldiers and they do what soldiers do in the best way they can. It doesn't seem to me, at least
I
from the
guess.
bridge burners, like the POVs we have, that they are fighting for a cause and are defending it. They're just out here soldiering, and and this is what they do. Like, they're being good soldiers.
I think it is an interesting question with no concrete answer. Like, I feel like there is a level of ambiguity here. Like, why are they doing this? Other than their commanders tell them to. What motivates them to get out of bed in the morning? Is it like Varsha said? Is it just because they're soldiers and this is what they do? Do they feel like they're fighting for some higher ideal? Are they driven by disgust, rage for what the Panion Domin has become? Are they driven to serve the whims of the empire? I think there's a lot of interesting possibilities, and I mean, given it's a whole army, it's there's probably a range of answers. That's another very interesting question.
But usually soldiers fight for something. Either you're paying them, so they're fighting for money, or they're fighting for their home, or they're fighting to get money from other people. If you think about it, it's always like, you need to give incentives to the soldiers. It's always like this. The commanders give incentives to the soldiers to fight better, right? Even if they're professionals. Like, in that sense now, well, you're professional, but I don't know. Like, you're still, I guess you're getting paid for that, so you're working for that, and you're not going to kill yourself. Like the work ethic. I don't know if anyone is going to kill himself for that.
I think they are getting paid, so I think that is maintained.
I thought there was a discussion that they're like, well, now that we're separate from the Empress, technically, like, who knows when we're going to get paid. I thought they said it earlier in the book.
You may be right. That does sound familiar. I don't know. Maybe it's the promise of payment, or I mean, again, what's driving them, right? I mean, I definitely don't think it's just the idea of payment, right? That there is something more driving them, and I don't know that there is a very clear answer.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, but I did read it. I don't remember where I was reading a discussion, and basically the point was saying that, like, the people that want to join the army and fight, it's like, usually on their own, usually they don't have good incentives, which is like, they just want to kill people, they just want to be, have power over other people, you know what I mean? Like, the incentives, if you don't have something like maybe, money or defend your country or whatever, a lot of the people that it attracts to these sort of positions is because, the violence and all those.
No, I mean, that makes sense.
Things.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
Do we want to move on to the big climax of the chapter? Actually, before we do, very quickly, I just want to say, I don't know why, but I've really gotten sick of Dujik one-arm shit, and I'm a Dujik hater right now, so I'll just say it. He annoys me.
Why?
Why do you say that?
What
He's
about
keeping
it?
secrets from Whiskey Jack. He's causing problems. I don't know that I believe he's making tactically sound decisions. It kind of feels like he just takes it for granted that his soldiers are going to do insane things for him. And, I don't know. He's just like, he's stoic to a fault. He's just like, I don't think he's like a bad guy, but like I don't like him very much, and that's definitely a first. I just am kind of annoyed with him.
All right.
What secrets do you think he knew about Tayshren?
Explicitly, he knew about Tayshren.
Oh yeah, he knew about Tayshren.
Okay.
A Whiskey Jack didn't? I thought he also knew.
No. I think you don't think he did?
No, they have a conversation about it.
But
Whiskey Jack feels betrayed. Like, this happens earlier in the book.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but that's okay. But that happened. It didn't happen in this chapter.
No.
Okay.
This was a while back. No.
Yeah.
It's just that's when it started for me, where I started going, Dujik, you may be a bit more of a jerk than I thought. And it's just over time, I'm like, kind of like, now I'm like doubting his tactical acumen, and I don't know, maybe he's just kind of old.
I mean,
I
they
don't
kept
know.
saying Whiskey Jack should have been High Fist and or even Emperor, right? So
Yeah.
like,
Like,
but Dujik commands enough loyalty that maybe he was good too. We don't know.
Like
But
I don't think he's again, I don't think he's like a bad person, but again, he's just kind of pissing me off.
but
And yeah,
I meant about Tayshren, Artantos, whatever his name is, being Tayshren. You think he knew about that also?
I bet I would not be
Hmm.
surprised. I mean, that's why he's the standard bearer. Like, I don't think that's
Yeah.
an accident. Which that was something that came back to me before it was revealed. So I was satisfied to see, okay, before it was revealed, I did remember that it was Tayshren.
Okay.
It's a fun reveal.
Why did he have
he's
to
kind of
be
useless
disguised, though?
because, like, everyone hates him there. Because the base
Yeah.
soldiers think he's the enemy.
So
I
I wanted to go around. Yeah. So what do we think of Tayshren at this point? 'Cause I know he's kind of a divisive figure.
thought it was only the Bridgeburners and like Whiskey Jack, like the characters that thought bad things about Tayshren. I didn't think that normal soldiers also did, because he didn't do anything to them, did he?
I mean, I think the problem is if he's openly himself, word gets out, and then the Bridgeburners know about it, and then it's a problem.
But didn't he explain to Whiskey Jack, and then Whiskey Jack was like, "Okay, I understand now." Couldn't he just tell the Bridgeburners?
I think the concern is that won't be sufficient for everyone else.
Maybe.
I think also he's more flexible. He can get in more places, do more things. If people don't know who he is, he's able to do a surprise attack. Like I feel like if I was him, I would probably also be in disguise. Like that. Yeah, I don't know. It just makes sense to me.
Could it be that?
Well,
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say. I mean, everybody still believes that he betrayed them at Pale.
Yeah.
That's the company line. So he has to be undercover at this point. Otherwise, it kind of breaks that narrative that he was the traitor.
Okay. I just didn't think that was a widespread narrative. I thought it was just like just for the Bridgeburner thing.
No, I think it's pretty widespread, at least within this army. What is this? The fourth army?
Okay, I see.
I don't remember.
So
I always thought he was disguised because if he wasn't, it would be clear that the army is not as outlawed as everyone thinks.
Absolutely.
And as they
That
want
makes
them to
sense.
think.
Yeah, I think
As
that.
like
I think that as well.
Tayshren
Yeah.
is officially linked to the Empire, so I think it wouldn't fly if they said we are outlawed, but here's Tayshren as well with us. So yeah, but do you think there's that much hatred towards Tayshren because of Pale?
Yes.
Specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I do. Gardens of the
Absolutely.
Moon is full of it. Like they hated that dude, and I really do think there is. The Bridgeburners, especially if they heard, would like go fucking nuts. They would be sneaking bombs into his pallet. Like I would not want to be known if I was him. But no, I think you're right, Mirka. I mean, I think if he's around very publicly, then it's clearly an actual imperial army, and there's the very real chance that they are going to colonize the city. And so, yeah, I mean, my question would be not, okay, what does he get from being in disguise, but what does he get from not being disguised, just being out in the open? And the answer is a lot of problems. So, I think it makes sense to just be disguised as some standard bearer who can go into all these fancy meetings, but not,
Well, and the idea we were given earlier in the book is that one-armed hosts really aren't, on the run. They're still working for the scene. And so, I mean, my understanding is Tayshen's kind of their contact because he is like the Imperial High Mage or whatever. But he's undercover as this standard bearer.
Yeah, I've always wondered about the cover because I think Tayshren is meant to. I mean, he probably is very, very powerful, like insanely powerful, right? But then, wouldn't Rake and Brute know that someone that powerful is in their presence, and they're
Unless he's
supposed
so powerful to cover his tracks.
I think they did know he's there. didn't they? Or well,
Okay.
because early on when they saw Arcanthos, there was like a calling him out. Like they sensed his power. Someone sensed his power. I remember that.
I think it
All
was
that really
Quickban. Like
Oh, is it just
maybe
Quickban?
only Quickban was the one who kind of mentioned like that something, strange about the standard bearer. But I would expect other powerful ascendants to also notice such a presence.
Yes,
Maybe they're so
sure.
powerful that they don't notice because he's so much weaker than them.
No,
No?
I think they know. I think they have to know, and that's probably part of their doubt. Maybe that's part of why they don't trust him, and they're like terrible about sharing plans. Is they're like, we know you have this like secret bomb right here that you refuse to tell us about, and so we're not going to trust you. I mean, it's just the problem of they're all keeping secrets.
So we get a proof of how powerful Tayshren really is when he basically defeats Kallor at the end. After, like Kallor does his thing and it takes a while, but then eventually Tayshren drives him away.
Does he drive away?
Yeah.
Well, how does Kallor leave the scene?
I thought he invokes the chain god and then a portal comes and it just takes him away or something.
That's how he gets away. Yeah.
But why doesn't he continue like with his mission to kill Silver?
Because I thought he got wounded because he got attacked from behind by Tayshren, right? Yeah, he did. Right. He still got that, but it was like a surprise attack, sort of.
Well, yeah, he got shot twice by crossbow bolts, and then he killed those Bridgeburners, and then Tayshren attacked him and wounded him. So he was like, okay, this isn't worth it anymore. More people are showing up. Time to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, I thought though that he also fights the two guards, right? The two soldiers, not the Bridgeburners, right? I thought he fights them in melee or something. Like he gets stabbed, doesn't he? By one of them, the like Silver Fox's bodyguards, soldiers.
By the Marines, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And
I think they definitely wound him, and then Tayshren uses his magic and.
Okay, but I think he was like he thought that he killed Tayshren, right? That's why he didn't expect it because he thought he was just a standard bearer. I think that's how I interpreted that sequence, but I wasn't 100% clear.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So if I thought he was like, I called for the chain god to heal me because he says something like "heal me," right? And I thought he gets taken away, like it was not his desire to be taken away. That's how I thought it was happening, and the chain god, for some reason, took him away.
I thought,
but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I also might be wrong, but I thought he was like, chain god, save me, get me out of here.
Because I thought he had killed most of them, but I guess he did get wounded, right? So maybe he was very close to him.
And Tayshren was actively fucking his shit up, so it suddenly became a much more dangerous proposition.
Yeah, but I feel like Kallor was way stronger than Tayshren. In theory,
maybe not.
Because
Tayshren's supposed to be like the strongest mage in the army.
But I think I don't
think Kallor was stronger. I think the crippled god is stronger because he's a god.
Yes. Well, yeah.
But I think it said like when they see like Tayshren with his like whatever chaos wound or remnant, they're like, oh shit, he survived that. As in it was like super powerful, whatever that hit him, the chaos magic, right? But I guess I'm not sure why. Yeah, I guess I wasn't sure why he got into the portal, I guess. Or if it was his decision or if it was a crippled god or whatever. I wasn't sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was like actually fleeing Tayshren. Like Tayshren, seemed to fight off the chaotic magic or whatever and started to get towards Kallor. And, maybe crippled god knew that as powerful as Tayshren is, he could do some damage to Kallor and through Kallor to crippled god.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was
because
thinking.
as Carl was saying, he is supposed to be the most powerful mage. And I've read I don't know if you guys read The Path to Ascendancy, but there is a lot about Tayshren as well, and like how he's almost as powerful as Kallanbad.
So no, you are right, Dan, in that he definitely is taken. So specifically the sequence of events is Tayshren starts blasting him. He's overwhelmed. He's in a lot of pain. He yells, "Chained one, heal me!" And the chained one starts kind of healing him as Tayshren is burning him alive with just like overwhelming him with raw magic. And then a portal opens up and swallows him in it, and he's gone. And so I think you're right. I think he was sucked up by the crippled god, and I don't think he had any choice whether or not to stay.
Because I thought he really wanted to kill Silver Fox. It's like, so close.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. But it's a cool fight scene, I guess. And the fact that nobody comes to help Silver Fox, very dramatic.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Well, yeah, let's start at the beginning of the scene with Corlad and Whiskey Jack. And I'm going to sneeze there. Shit. Just going to try to mute myself before that. Whoopsie. Yeah, who wants to start there? I don't know who had that as their thing. Was it Steve? Oh, God, Steve went to the sleep warren. Well, Steve said Whiskey Jack's death was anticlimactic, so maybe we can start there. I agree, but I think that's kind of intentional.
Yeah.
You know, he's meant to kind of he just dies quickly. He tries to do something heroic and fails.
I like it. Like, he dies the same way he lived, like an ordinary person. That's his trait, being an ordinary guy, right?
Yeah, I agree.
The dumbass should have gotten his leg fixed.
Yes.
Like, it's hard for me to feel too bad for him. Like, you had like 3 books of time, or 2 books of time to get this leg fixed. They even told you were with Kaladin Brood, who is like high to null and could probably fix it with like a wave of his pinky, and he never did it.
That's very ordinary person of him. How many times you're like, oh, I need to go to the doctor, and then like 3 months pass, and like, shit, I haven't gone to the doctor, or people tell you should really check that thing, and you never go.
Yeah, do you think it's just basic, like almost like a sense of laziness or human invulnerability, or like what is it that you think motivates him to just not address the obvious problem?
I think it's that he always puts other people before himself. You know, like just like I'm not. You don't need to waste your healing magic on me. Like there might be other need for it, but it turns out that it was very, very sad decision.
See, that makes him, in my mind, actually a bad choice for emperor, because you need an emperor who's willing, you know, has a sense of self-preservation, because as the emperor, you need to survive, and an emperor dying is a big problem. So there has to be some selfishness. You just don't want it to be, you know, to the extent that they become a tyrant, right?
Yeah.
Or they abandon the empire to run off for their own godhood.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, to be fair, that was a little difficult because, you know, they were actively getting cooed at that point. And so they were like, I guess we'll just peace out now. But yeah, no, I agree. Kallanbad is he's an interesting character. But Whiskey Jack, how do we feel? Is everyone very heartbroken?
Yeah. Also, not only for Whiskey Jack, but also for the 2 Marines.
Yeah.
You might recall the scene when they talk with Whiskey Jack and then Silver Fox. She says something like, "Oh, and now they are going to die for you." And they did, right? Like, or at least for his cause of protecting Silver Fox, which is a super heartbreaking moment, I think.
I actually think their deaths hit me harder than Whiskey Jack's, at least on this.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Like, I liked Whiskey Jack, but in some ways, like, I thought his name was kind of the coolest thing about him, in retrospect.
He does have an awesome name.
I mean, to be honest, we don't like the actual parts where we are with Whiskey Jacks are not. It's not that much actually, if you think about it.
Yes.
Like
agreed.
we get even in this book, I think we probably get more of the Marines than Whiskey Jack, or it's very similar in any case.
I don't know about that. We get a lot of Whiskey Jack. A lot of his interactions with other people, including Corlat, but not exclusively Corlat. Like with Dujik, he has a bunch of scenes. He has some scenes with Animander Rake. He has some scenes with Perrin.
But I just feel like a lot of the time he's not like the center, just like the Quick Bend scenes. Like he's the center of that narrative. Well, the Whiskey Jacks, when he's with Corlat, yes. But a lot of other times he's not the focus, I think.
Dujik,
well, I think a good counter would be Perrin. Like when Perrin's POV, like you feel like, oh, this guy's really important. He's, like he's the center. He's like a real pillar of this narrative. And Whiskey Jack he's an interesting character. He's got a lot of, he's got a decent amount of POVs. But I don't feel that same way about him. Like I feel like his time has passed. Like he's this big commander, and he probably did all these great things over in Seven Cities, but now we're kind of winding down on him, especially because he keeps talking about retiring and stuff.
This is how you know he's gonna die.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I should have clocked that as soon as he said he was gonna retire. Like, oh.
Yeah, this is my last campaign before I retire.
Or you'll be made to retire. The Dujik, remember that when Dujik and Whiskey Jack have one last dinner because they think Dujik is going to die, but it's actually now Whiskey Jack is dead. His death didn't hit me as hard as I guess the impact it had on the people around him. When Itkovian walks up on that army in deep pain, and he's like, okay, what do I do about this? Because they're all distraught over Whiskey Jack's death. Yeah, that's when it hit. I don't think it hurt me that much that Whiskey Jack himself died.
I thought the pain was from the clan en masse. That's what I thought.
I think so, but I think he's also feeling the... Wait, was any of Whiskey Jack's army there at all? Because he did feel the pain from
very little amount. No, but it was my reading of it is that was an intentional red herring, where you think it's about that. It's about them, and he's going to go and take their grief. And then it turns out he's actually walking towards the Talanai mass.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that whole section is like amazingly written. The payoff there, the way it like kind of completely wrenches your expectations around, but in a way that like it feels natural. You're like, oh, why didn't I see this coming? And I mean, I guess we're talking about that now. I love it. I mean, I think this is one of the great twists in the series, and just like perfectly executed, well written, moving, fantastic prose. And then the way the chapter ends with Silver Fox, turning around, screaming, and it's so good. And then but it was too late.
Yeah, she refused them, right? And now she realizes that someone else is going to release them, and that wasn't the plan. I don't think.
Yeah, I love it.
Well,
Silver Fox has made some really bad decisions as well. I think maybe this entire book is about making bad decisions.
Yeah. Speaking of, everyone acts shocked that Kallor betrayed them. They're all like, we should have seen this coming. It's like, yes, you should have. He was the least trustworthy person in your entire army. He's constantly talking about how he wants to kill all of you.
And all of a sudden he comes back and he's like all friendly and I want to help you. Yeah, of course that's not what it is.
That stuff actually drove me nuts this time, where I was like, what? Yeah. Like, it's right in front of you.
Yeah, because there was a little bit there with like, I think it was Whiskey and Corlat talking, and like, really? You believe him that he's sorry? Like, I don't think I clocked that the first time I was reading it, but I was like, you guys are dumb. Like, you're so dumb.
I think Whiskey Jack says, "Oh yeah, I'm really happy that Kallor is giving advice, right? Something along those lines."
Yes, that's exactly it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm glad he's giving him advice."
so diplomatic and always seeing the best in people. You got him killed.
Yeah, but I mean, he was against Kallor previous time, so I don't know why he's changed his mind now.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like throughout the whole book, everyone was reasonable and was like, yeah, we don't like Kallor, we don't trust Kallor. And then it was suddenly like, oh, but yeah, Kallor, sure, come on. I like you, guy. No, nothing could go wrong. And then they're shocked when he betrays them and kills a bunch of them. Like, I don't get it. I truly don't. It's not my favorite thing. I almost wish they would have been like, the reaction would have been like, yeah, we knew that was coming sometime, and it just sucks that it had to happen this way.
Or just make him more likable before, right?
Or make him more likable, right? Where you actually don't necessarily like, you can understand why they wouldn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't start with him immediately trying to kill Silver Fox and just being an asshole to everybody.
So, to be fair,
Varth is the Kallor apologist.
Oh, I'm a Kallor apologist.
Yeah, I guess I have been for a while. But now I'm talking about the lack of shock or the shock at the betrayal, right? It was an accidental sort of betrayal because Whiskey Jack stepped in, and he's been saying for a while that he wants to kill Silver Fox. And as long as Silver Fox is not around, it's fine to have Kallor around. He makes sense, I imagine. He participates in the tactic meetings and stuff. We've only seen him be angry at Silver Fox. Maybe, he made valid contributions.
That's not even true, though.
How do you know?
Because
sorry,
in
what do
the
you mean?
other meetings, he's a dick to everyone else, too. And gets into fights with everyone else.
And we always disagree with him. Apart from the previous one in which he was like, oh, we shouldn't march fast. And then Kallor was like, yeah, good idea. Right?
He's constantly threatening Kaladin Brood. He threatens Orphantal. And guess what? He doesn't just go after Silver Fox. He fucking slices Quirlat's head open. Like,
he hits her first so that she wouldn't get in the way of him killing Silver Fox.
Right, but it's like a shocker.
Yes, but all the arguments before, I don't know, I'd have to go back and check, but a lot of the arguments and him being an ass are also in the context of Silver Fox, right?
Often, yes. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Definitely the vast majority of the time, that is what he's angry about, and nobody's listening to him about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so as long as they don't know and don't think Silver Fox is going to be around, maybe it's okay for Kallor to be around, except that she showed up and then he showed up at the same time and went for it. So I think this shock might be warranted a little bit. That's all.
Okay.
If anything, the shock is like, oh my god, what bad luck, Silver Fox showed up and he took this as his opportunity, rather than, oh god, he was actually capable of doing that, even though he's been saying he was do that this entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going to go for her the first time he saw her. Just happened to be now.
When she was a literal child.
That's
also
true.
In the beginning of the book. He also went for her at the literal beginning of the book when she was a literal child.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't remember any time in which Kallor gave really good advice. And then everyone was like, yeah, we should do that. I think. I can't remember.
Yeah, but we've only been... the tactic meetings happen off screen.
Yeah, I mean, I think nominally he was with Kallor Brood as a... as like an advisor. I could see that, because what else was he really doing?
Yeah.
No.
I know that people say that. We just haven't seen it.
We don't see it. I agree. We don't see it, but I think that we are told that, yes, he's
that
untold centuries old. And...
That would be helpful too, if we saw that more. If like he was really instrumental in like saving Kapustan or something like that. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah, you're right. If we had seen him be nice a few times, apart from the Silver Fox business, maybe more shocking. But do you think also that's intentional to sort of just because I came away from my first reading of this with just unmitigated hate for Kallor, and apparently
Yeah.
now I'm a Kallor apologist. So I wonder if some of this is to, make us sort of think about, sort of just draw the first conclusion, and then maybe if we start thinking about it a bit more, some of it starts to fall apart.
My sense is definitely that Erikson wants you on a first read to hate Kallor, and then he wants to
Yes.
play with that. I mean, we can't really get into spoilers beyond this, but like I do think that is his intent. However, I think by committing to that so thoroughly, he made all the characters around Kallor act like absolute morons.
And I think about what I thought, and maybe it's wrong, is just that he's there in the discussions to provide an opposing point of view, like as a scene composition sort of thing. It's like you need someone to be there as the opposing one, so that Whiskey Jack and the other ones, their advice is like there's the discussion, and then they come up on top, and they're the smart ones.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah, it has some negatives, but yeah, but I still like him. He's not a good guy. I just think he's cool.
I also
I
like
don't know.
Kallor.
I do not like him. Never have. Kallor, I hated him the first time I read it, and I've read more than this. I know from like interview type stuff that yes, Erikson does want us to like Kallor more than we're given.
Really?
But I still hate him. I still hate Kallor. Kallor can eat an entire bag of dicks. The whole bag. I hate him.
For me, it's actually how despicable he is that I like about him. Like he is just like really crotchety and mean and hateful and violent, and like he's not a good person. There's no way you can like tell his story where he's like remotely redeemable. And even if he didn't nuke his empire, like he's still not a redeemable person. And I find that is what is like he's just wildly entertaining. Like I'm having a good time.
We will have some discussions about him in the future. I do not agree, but maybe you can change my mind. Who knows?
I just like villains. That's fine.
I
don't know. I like to be a contrarian, so I like the villains.
We know.
That nobody likes. Nobody else is gonna like them. Poor guys.
Poor guys.
Yeah. Nobody likes them.
Kallor's just an asshole. And I can be an asshole, but Kallor's more of an asshole.
I agree. He's an asshole. I agree.
Yeah, that's why I like him.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's one of those characters I just love having him around. Like maybe that's why Calodan Brood does it. Maybe it's a similar sentiment. He's like, I just like having this asshole around. Like whenever he's around, like I'm just entertained. It's just a good time to have him because he's the worst. Like he's gonna say the most like mean thing that he can think of. And honestly, when I'm alone and it's quiet at night, I just think about that and I laugh. Maybe that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
That's a good point. Maybe he just keeps him there to feel like, oh, I'm better than this guy. It's like I could just insult him and treat him like shit because he deserves it. But he makes me feel good.
Well, at the end of the day, he still goes whining for the cripple god when he's in trouble. So
true.
Oh, I love it. I love a coward.
Yeah. That's my way.
Yeah, he's not brave.
Don't fight. Just that's why he said just don't fight a Coral. Just use logistics and food and stuff like that. That's the real coward's way.
Yep. So did somebody have the end of the chapter, the whole Ikovian
that was me.
Raising the Talanai?
I mean, I think I hit it. Like it's just like a great subversion of everything you expect. Like you think it's gonna be this very like messianic liberation from pain for like evil people or something, and like it is, but it's like it's for the army that you like they need to win this battle. And so it's just this enormous bomb that goes off, and it makes perfect sense with everything we know.
I like the way it was teased. in earlier
Talanai
chapters, or
mask.
he's like, yeah, he feels like he needs to take this on, and he's kind of like wandering around, and now he found what he needed to take on.
It's I just think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. And again,
Yeah,
how it's
I
written,
absolutely
where
loved
at
it.
first the way it's written, it's ambiguous. Where like Varsha was saying, is like you think it's everyone grieving Whiskey Jack, and then you realize no, actually, it's the Talanai mass. It's this army of hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands of miserable dead people,
Mhm.
and it's just such a brilliant reveal. And then yeah, oh, I love it.
And
But also, how's the timing? Because you just said that they need that army to win this fight, right?
Oh,
Mhm.
it's
And
terrible
now
timing.
Oh, awful timing.
That's
yeah,
why
it
it's the
is awful,
best.
right? Yeah.
No, exactly. Is it?
It's like,
Uh,
yeah, damn it,
I
Kovian,
read
couldn't
that.
you have just walked away for a couple, like
Yeah,
another day? Like,
my my stomach drops. Like when I read that the first time, I lost my mind. I could not believe that this was
I,
happening. It was
I don't think
insane.
I don't think I got the implication the first time I read it. Like, oh, oh, he's embracing them. Oh, like what Silver Fox is supposed to have done, and oh no,
Yeah, this was one of the iconic moments for me in the book that I was like, I just loved it because it raises the stakes so much. Like the battle is epic and cool, and like people are important characters are dying. Like, but to me, like this is the moment where you really think like, oh my god, how can they possibly come out on top here? Like they're about to lose their most powerful army.
yep,
This is
they
insane.
lost their
And
their
there
trump
was no
card. You
thought,
know.
right? Like there was no expectation that that was even on the table. And yet it makes perfect sense.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it's
love
very
it.
well
I mean, he
constructed,
could just wait and
right?
like embrace them after the battle.
I agree. I agree. But he's clearly not doing that.
Yeah.
He feels a calling, and
Can you
he's
guys
following
do
that call.
one more thing?
Like,
Yeah,
I
time out.
was wondering though,
We need you to
the
kill some
yeah,
dinosaurs.
would the Talanai mass have
Like,
fought though? Because they didn't come when Silver Fox asked them to come to protect her. So I was wondering, maybe if Ikovian wasn't there, they wouldn't even have showed
that
up.
was the Plan I. I think she was just calling Plan
Okay.
I, and they didn't come. And I wanted to ask you guys that. Like, do you think that's because Plan I are now doing their own thing with like Tog and Fenderay and
Yes,
their
yeah.
wolf god? Okay,
I
so
think
they're
that's
not
exactly.
like hers anymore. They are now.
Well, I don't think they were ever really hers. Like,
Mm.
because I remember earlier in the book, the Talanamas said they're with us, but they're not really of us or something. Like, I don't know. Like, they've always been on their own. They just are with the Talanamas because
Well,
they're,
I think they
I don't
showed
know,
up
took
at
care of
some
each other.
point after she called them. Like, I guess in the same way as she did now, she called them before
Okay.
and they appeared. So I think she had some sort of hold over them,
No, for sure.
at least partially, as
Okay.
a bonecaster of Tlanimas and all that. But she probably lost that now, or did they not show up because as a payback kind of for her not releasing Tlanimas?
I think it's the first thing you were saying that Tog and
Yeah.
Fanderay, there is something going on
Beef.
there
Yeah.
that is motivating them to go elsewhere, to be a part of that. So I think it's that, and I just think I think at this point we're supposed to question, right? What exactly is happening? Why didn't they show up? That's crazy. And I think in the next chapter we're going to see what's happening, why they didn't show up.
there is only one chapter left. But I think the thing that surprised me the most the first time around about the Telonimus is that he feels their pain and the volume of the grief, which up to that point I don't think I had thought even once that as an emotion that we would associate with the Imas. Like they're a zombie army, and that's it. Like they are, the reason they became that was for a vendetta. Like I think that's pretty much it. It was a bit of a misguided one, and they thought they had a cause to fight for and whatnot, but that was it. So grief did not. I did not. It was surprising to me that that was what he felt from them in such volume.
Their culture is dead. They're a horde dedicated to
Mm.
one thing. I mean, they destroyed themselves, and hundreds of thousands of years have passed, and they are, many of them are gone. They've lost people over that time. They've watched civilizations rise and fall, and they are out of time. I mean, they're not just a man out of time; they're a civilization out of time, and that is long lived past its end date. And I think that's the grief is the grief.
Well,
they
I
don't
agree
belong
that it
here.
makes sense. I'm just saying that I was surprised that it never once occurred to me to think
Oh, yeah,
that.
yeah.
And it makes so much sense once it's pointed out here.
Yeah, and I think, and to go with what you were saying, Carl, I think, back in the prologue, we got introduced to Kalava, and we see kind of the counterpoint to them, that here's somebody from these people that didn't nuke their own culture for this vendetta, for this whatever. And we see the tragedy that they committed and that they are still doing. And now with finally a Kovian, maybe might be coming to an end.
I did think it was set up, obviously. Like, it was already kind of mentioned, the fact that they're just full of, like, suffering and grief in the section about the previous gathering, right? Because they basically say, like, oh, there's nothing left, like, we're husks, there's only, like, there's nothing inside of us, right? And they beg her to let them die. So I thought that was, at that point, we were like, okay, well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, when during the second gathering, they were begging her to let them go. And yeah, I guess there's the additional sorrow of our only hope is gone too. Yeah, that makes sense. I think, maybe that's when I felt surprised. But
yeah, I do think this whole thing is set up very well. Like, there's a lot of parts that go together very organically, and it feels like deserved, and it feels like it makes a lot of sense in the context and in the storylines. I think it's the best storyline of the book.
I agree.
Yeah,
it just all it flows so nicely. It just works, and it's so shocking, right? When you read it, like, you don't see it coming, but it makes perfect sense. And that to me is just like, I mean, that's the absolute peak of plotting that you can do. It doesn't get better than that.
I guess while we're on the subject of Emma's, Shannon, you had Tool's entrance into the city.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. He shows up and he's like, he even thinks to himself, like, oh, I could just turn to dust and sneak into the city, but they took my buddy. So I'm gonna really be dramatic about this. And then we see his entrance with through Picker's POV, I think. And so I just thought it was funny. I was like, I love Tool. Like, he is at this point one of my favorite characters. Absolutely.
I'm right there with you, Shannon. I love his entrance. I love the way he thinks about it. I love all of that, especially after knowing what Talk's gone through. That he's just like, it's time the first sword of the Talanai Mass announces himself. It's just a great moment.
I just thought, though, in that section, there was a part which was a bit... Because when he kills all of the Kachintamale, right? And then Picker's like, oh, let's follow him. And they're like, oh, it's the safest place to be next to him. And I was like, that's the opposite of what Talk was thinking when he was... Like, completely the opposite.
And that's how you know it's the right decision.
Actually, in thinking about it, though, to be a little more serious, I do like it, this moment for him, because if you think earlier in the book, he's talking about how he's clanless now, he's, and all this stuff, but, again, for his friend, he's willing to kind of, like, here I am.
Right, and he inadvertently stumbles into another clan, right?
Yeah.
He's going to become a Bridgeburner now.
But I think, and this is definitely not a hot take, but I think Erikson, he does, buddy duos, I think, better than almost anybody.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly. All right, are we ready for quotes? Let's do some quotes.
I think so.
All right, Varsha, what do you got for us this week?
Can I steal the one? You are in pain. I would embrace you now.
Oh, It's so good.
Yeah. That I think. Oh, the other thing hasn't happened yet. We'll get to that. But
I think just that entire last like few pages, I think is just all of it is like perfectly written. The prose,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
red
Very
herrings,
quotable.
the twists
Good
and
prose.
turns. Yes.
yeah,
Great emotional moments, seeing Krupp for once speechless, grieving, and then bang, you realize what this is really about, what's really happening, and it is just a jaw on the floor.
yeah.
It's so good.
I also have I wouldn't say why, but he is yours now, Hood. Do you smile? My love is yours. Not for the reason you might think, but I like that quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you feeling about them at the end of this?
I feel sad for them. I'm sad for Kola.
I'm sad
I was on
Mirka had to head out, so we can't get her
We
thoughts
didn't
on this.
talk
But
much
maybe we
about
can do
it.
that next week.
Yeah, we
Or
can talk
shows how
about
not
it.
important it was.
Hmm?
Nothing. I'm saying because we didn't talk about it, it shows that nobody thought it impacted them that much, which validates my theory, like my opinion.
Why? I mean, I was sad for her for like 2 minutes. Now I moved on, but I don't think
Yeah.
that
So
reduces. I don't think that reduces the loveliness of their relationship.
I think it does. I think it does. I think if
I
you
don't
if you
think
thought it was
so.
a great relationship, you would be sad a bit longer, and you would want to discuss it. I think.
I mean, I would also have been sad that he died. Period. Which I'm not really.
So, which also
But it'll
reinforced my
come.
point. I think.
Actually, we
Or
haven't had
rethink.
time to grieve yet. It's just happened, so we don't know what's coming. Wait for it.
True.
I do know that everyone's reaction to his death is gonna get to me. That shit always does get to me when the leader of
Yeah.
the love dies. Like that stuff that does hit.
Yeah.
So I expect it to hit yet again.
Yes, I remember weeping the entire chapter. May have made some pages wet.
I
We'll
liked the first sentence of the epigraph to this chapter was some tides move unseen, and then it goes on to talk about Tog and Vandre. But I just like that quote, like those first four words, because it's true. Things we don't see, things that are happening until all of a sudden it's happening.
It happens, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. Oh, it only works because of its rarity. That was Quick Ben about the. Not Quick Ben. Somebody was asking why Quick Ben solutions, if they work so well, why they don't just use that all the time instead of whatever other magic they do.
Mm-hmm.
They say that's it only works because of its rarity.
Mm.
Oh, yes. This one. But the Punyan seer had taken Aralfaid, Tok the Younger, a mortal man who had called to friend.
Yep.
The time had come for the first sword of the Tilanamas to announce himself. I love that line.
It's so good.
Go get him, Tool.
Yes.
Oh, what about like when this was when not Quick Ben, Whiskey Jack and Corlett were talking, and it talks about how if their conversation to continue another half dozen heartbeats, and then a half dozen heartbeats within which opens coin spun, a single lazy turn from lady to lord.
Yeah,
And
that
which,
is a good one. Very
If
ominous.
it's like, oh, the Lord's back.
yeah, the Lord is bad, right? He's a pushes
Yeah.
things away.
So yeah, so if they
Yeah.
had just, talked or whatever, loitered for just or no, I guess no, if they'd hurried up. No, it says continued for another half dozen heartbeats. So maybe it had spun back again.
So is
Good
that
stuff.
implying that the death is slightly intentional or just chaos? The involvement of chaos caused it, I suppose.
I think it's just saying chance.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just chance. It's just the turning of this coin. Like it's It's not malicious. It's not, against anybody. It just happens to be when it was turning.
Yeah, yeah. This one, Paran heard the effort in the wizard's hopeful tone when they dropped the bombs on the city and were wondering about whether the Bridgeburners have made it out yet. And Quick Ben says they'd have withdrawn by now. He heard the effort in the wizard's hopeful tone. I love the way that was phrased.
Yeah, it does
I
tell you a
think-
lot in that one sentence.
Yeah. I think that's everything.
Yeah,
I would
that's all I
embrace
got.
you now. I don't
Yeah,
think anything can
all for me.
beat that. He's not done. Oh, there's that other bit about him still being not done. Where is it? Yeah. The truth which I have known within me, hidden, now revealed. I am not yet done, not yet done. And he said this over a few times, but now now we know what he has to take on. But here's the question. He felt his god's horror, but I thought he doesn't feel his god anymore. So what is it that he's feeling?
No, I think he can feel his God.
He can feel his god, just
Yeah.
I think so.
He's not
It's just
dead.
his God's not. Yeah, he's not where he's supposed to be. He's not. But he's. Yeah.
He's
He
weak.
could. Maybe he still feels his God, weak and horror. Like pulled down to the mortal plane.
hmm.
Because he just can't. He can't embrace anybody and send them where they're supposed to go. Because his God's not up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, I forget who wanted to talk about this, but the magic tiger that the army
yeah.
becomes, that was awesome.
Yes.
What did
Super
happen there?
They got like this it's like a parallel, I think, to what happens to Perrin, where it's like magical force surrounds
all
them
of
and
them.
unites them into
Yeah.
a single giant tiger.
Yep.
Okay.
So weird is I remember this happening in Kapistan, but it didn't. It was here instead. But yeah.
So
yeah,
cool.
I didn't see that the unit turned into a tiger. I thought there was some sort of bubble around them that made them move faster, but that's so cool.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess. I don't know. As far as magic makes sense, which doesn't.
Right. But it's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm here for it.
What else? I think any other quotes
Okay.
before we wrap up?
That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm good.
Mhm.
All right, then we go next week to what I think is still my favorite ending in this series. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exciting stuff. Let's do it.
yeah, thank you so much.
I'll
for
disagree with you one day when we get there, but
Okay.
not today.
All right, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon. Bye.